Hello, dear students from all over Egypt. Welcome to today's session. With you today, Ms. Wafa Hassoub, and today, inshallah, we will start our perfect and wonderful revision for your ICT book and Choreo platform. So, session by session, inshallah, you will have your revision, your full revision, and after we finish, inshallah, you will get your test marks, your high marks for both of the book and the platform of TOFAS إن شاء الله. أهلا بكم أولادنا الغاليين في محاضرة النهاردة بدءا من اليوم إن شاء الله هنكون معاكم في المراجعة الخاصة بالاثنين الكتاب وكمان إن شاء الله منصة كوريو علشان تحوزوا أعلى الدرجات على الاثنين إن شاء الله كمان بالنسبة لاختبار TOFAS. So be with me the revision for information and media revision. This is your first chapter of your ICT book. So, starting with the MCQ question. So, I'm asking you, what is data? So, can you remember what is data? Is it facts represented using numbers, characters, or symbols, or analyzed information for problem solving? Information from third parties like books or media for transmitting information? And the correct answer is facts. So data is facts are facts represented using numbers, characters, or symbols. Now we have question fill in the gap. Well, information is something that holds what or value for the recipient and serves as a basis for what? Can you guess? What are the two words? Well, information is something that holds meaning or value for the recipient and serves as a basis for decision making. You can make decision through information. Try giving your answers in the chat so we can tell you perfect and correct your answers. Any question you have, write in the chat and we will give your answer, inshallah. Well, a WH question. So, what characteristics of information means it cannot be completely erased once created? So, we studied before the characteristics of the information. And one of them, okay, meant it cannot be completely erased once we create it. So what we call this? Okay, we call it persistence. Exactly. So this is persistent. Persistence means that once we create it, we can delete it at all. Okay. Now we have an MCQ question. So which is not a characteristic of information listed? So, is it persistence, reproducibility, propagation, or volatility? If you remember the characteristics of information, you will find that, of course, volatility, it's not one of them. So the three of persistence, reproducibility, and propagation are all of them characteristic of information. Okay, so the correct answer here is D or letter D. Still with fill in the gap, information can be easily copied in large quantities, which is called, so we call it reproducibility. Exactly, perfect. So when we copy it in large quantities, this is reproducibility. It means we reproduce it more and more and more and copy it to large people. Okay, so now we have the MCQ question. What's knowledge? Knowledge. What is the knowledge? Well, is it raw facts or symbols? Information analyzed and systemized for problem solving? Direct personal experience only? Or secondary source like TV? So knowledge is informationalized and systemized for problem solving. So when we give an analyzation or analysis for information, this is what we call it knowledge. So knowledge is information analyzed and systemized for problem solving. Still with the questions and WH question. So, how does information propagate easily? How does information propagate easily? Well, through mass media such as newspapers, television, and the internet. Well, what is information is obtained through direct personal experience, research, or experiments. Well, exactly like experimental reports, survey results. So we call it primary information. So primary information, okay, we can have it through personal experiences or research or experiments. Now, what's an example of secondary information? Well, we had it before, primary information and secondary information. So, what's an example of secondary information? Like books, newspapers, and television. So, you have your information, okay, through other people or other tools, not done by yourself, okay, or not original. That's why we call it secondary information. Well, secondary information can differ from the original or include exact copies only, interpretations, erased data, or personal experiments. Well, secondary information, of course, had or can differ from the original, and it can include interpretations. Comparing information from multiple perspectives to check accuracy is called perfect cross-checking. Cross-checking, okay? To check the accuracy of your information more and more to make sure that it's really accurate and it's exact things that you want. Well, why is cross-checking necessary for secondary information? Well, it can differ from original or have added interpretations to determine accuracy and reliability. Accuracy and reliability. Okay, so what are media now? So, what are media? They are only books and newspapers, means for conveying information to people, knowledge only, data samples. Well, media is, of course, means or tools for conveying information to people. Start with fill in the gap. Media literacy is the ability to accurately information from media. And of course, it's to interpret. So, media literacy is the ability to accurately interpret information from media. What had no form unlike objects? So, what has no form unlike objects? It's information, of course. And which spreads information easily? Is it mass media, personal experiments only, raised data, isolated facts? And the correct answer is the thing that spreads information easily is personal experiments only. Sorry, it's mass media. Because when we publish information through social media like Facebook, Twitter, Insta, or something like that, okay, it spreads quickly and fast among other people. So the thing that spreads information easily is mass media. Start with fill in the gap. Examples of primary information includes Uh, tabulations of results. So, examples of primary information include tabulation of questionnaire results. Information is easy to convey and erase completely, spread, ignore, limit to one copy. So it's easy to convey and spread. We can spread it all over the world through mass media, as we explained before. Okay, so what serves as a base for decision making? It's information, of course. So what we call it facts or matters represented using numbers, characters, or symbols. It's data. Okay, so data means facts or matters represented using numbers, characters, or symbols. Well, unlike objects, what has no form? Of course, we already told you it's information. What does reproducibility mean for information? What does it mean? Well, it can be easily copied in large quantities and spread all over a long or wide place. Information spreads through mass, such as newspapers, television, and the internet. So, through mass media, of course. What's primary information? Well, it's information from direct personal experience, research, or experiments, like experimental reports, survey results. What's the final processed forms of information for problem solving? It's knowledge. So this is the final processed, okay, form of information, which is secondary information. Which one of these we consider it a secondary information? Is it survey results, books, newspapers, TV, questionnaire tabulations, or personal experiments? And it's books, newspapers, and TV. Well, to verify secondary information, use checking from multiple sources. So use cross-checking from multiple sources, okay? You have to check the information from other sources, one source and a second and another one. Media literacy involves creating data, accurately interpreting media information, raising persistence or limiting propagation. And media literacy involves, of course, accurately, okay, interpreting media information. How is knowledge created from information? Can you guess? Well, it's by analyzing and systemizing, okay, it to aid problem solving. Persistence means information once cannot be completely erased. So once created can't be completely erased. What are examples of mass media for propagation? Newspapers, televisions, and internet. Secondary information is accurate or acquired through a first-hand experiment, third-party, direct survey, or personal tabulation. And secondary information, okay, is acquired through third party. Why must secondary information be unreliable? Why we can't rely on secondary information? Because it can differ from original or include added interpretation, of course. So it's not like the original one. What's not primary information? Experimental reports, survey results, television broadcasts, or questionnaire tabulations. Take care is not primary information, so it's television broadcasts. What is the purpose of cross-checking? Why do we do cross-checking? Check things from other sources to determine accuracy and reliability by comparing with other sources. Propagation means information is easy to erase, convey and spread, limit, or analyze alone. Well, propagation means information is easy to convey and spread. Still with the fill in the gap, knowledge is information that has been and systemized. So has been analyzed and systemized. Media are for information to people. So media are for conveying information to people. Conveying information to people. What holds meaning or value for decision making? It's perfect information. Start with the questions. Knowledge is information that has been and systemized, has been analyzed and systemized. Media are for information to people, so it's for conveying information to people. And what holds meaning or value for decision making? It's information, of course. Which media type is for expressing content, like text or video? So, what the media type? Is it recording media, propagation media, expression media, or knowledge media? Well, it expresses content like text or video. So it's expression media. Fill in the gaps. Well, what type of media, okay, used for recording and storing information? As an example, it's book. So we call it recording media. So recording media like books, we use it to record and store information. What are propagation or transmission media examples? Like television, radio, newspapers, books, telephone, and internet. They're all okay examples for propagation media or transmission media. Well, persistence, reproducibility, propagation are characteristics of data only, information, knowledge, or media literacy. Well, they are characteristics of information. Still with the questions, well, fill in the gaps. Well, what kind of information? Okay, it's not direct, but from third parties may need cross-checking. We call it secondary information. How can information spread easily? Through, well, of course, it's easy to convey and propagate through mass media. What kind of information analyzed for problem solving? Well, it's knowledge. So knowledge is information that analyzed for problem solving. Media literacy is creating media, ability to accurately interpret information from media, storing data, raising knowledge. Well, media literacy is the ability to accurately interpret information from media. Fill in the gap. Primary information examples. So we want from you, okay, primary information examples like experimental what? And survey. Perfect. So experimental reports and survey results. Okay, so memorize them like this: experimental reports and survey results. What cannot be completely erased? It's information. Of course, due to the characteristic of it is persistence. Persistence. Well, cross-checking determines degree of creation, accuracy, and reliability, mass media type, or data samples. Well, cross-checking determines accuracy and reliability of the information that we take from others. What aids in verifying secondary information? So, what the thing that helps you, okay, verify secondary information? It's cross-checking multiple perspectives. Now we have an MCQ question. Reproducibility allows complete erasure, easy large quantity copying, limited spread, direct experiments only. And reproducibility allows you, okay, to easy large quantity copying. To copy it, okay, for vase wide people or area or anything like that. So you can copy it many times. What's the difference between primary and secondary information? Well, primary is direct, like experience or research, something that you do or others do by themselves. Secondary information is from third parties, like books, like televisions, and so on. Which is a recording or propagation media? Text only, internet, images alone, or audio without transmission? And it's the internet. So we call it a recording or propagation media. Why the information valuable? Why it's valuable? Well, because it holds meaning and value and peace decision making. Expression media examples include telephone, video, radio transmission only, book storage alone. Well, expression media, it includes video, of course, because we express things through it. Why is information valuable? Because it holds meaning, value, and peace decision making. Well, that was the end for today's session. Hope you enjoyed the revision. Wait for us, inshallah, in the next session for another revision or review for you. From me, all best wishes. Thank you and goodbye.